back. Tim Hortons India, the Canadian coffee chain which made its entry into the Indian market in August 2022, recently celebrated their first birthday in the country. We're catching up with Tarun Jain, CEO of Tim Hortons franchise in India, and speaking to him about how has the India journey panned out so far. How are they planning to execute their plan of setting up 120 stores in the country by 2026? How are they engaging with the discerning Gen Z population and much more? In fact, I'm catching up with Tarun ahead of the brand opening their third store in Mumbai in September first week. Listen in to this conversation. So this is the third store of Tim Hortons in Mumbai that you are launching 1 year in the country. 17 stores across 8 different cities. Tell us how has it panned out so far for the business?
Oh, it's been a fascinating journey. I think once we started a year back, and this will be the 18th store in the open, and with 1 into 8 cities like you mentioned. So, see, every city, every market has been a kind of journey, a discovery for us. And the amount of love, the amount of appreciation that the brand has received, I think that's been a totally enjoyable part of it, of bringing the experience of Tim Hortons, authentic Canadian experience to the customers. I think that's been a fascinating journey. And every city, every micro market that we go to obviously has its own unique characteristics and its own unique nuances, right? So in terms of developing regional taste items, adapting our cuisine to the various cities, I think it's been a fascinating journey.
Yeah, and which market has been the most challenging to get into, if I may ask?
All the markets have been very exciting, So
you started with Delhi.
We started with Delhi. We went to Punjab, and the idea was to, have a reasonable presence in the north before we get into other markets.
Why is that?
Because the brand had an affinity in the north because of the Canadian origin.
Yes.
And we found that there was a lot of affinity that people had for the brand in the north naturally. So we wanted to kind of be there. And I think about a couple of months back, we came to Mumbai, and we had a fascinating launch in Mumbai as well, because we had opened in Bandra and Lokhandwala, and we had a really, really amazing response from people. And that really gave us a lot of confidence and a lot of impetus to go into new cities and expand the brand on a national basis.
Interesting year actually for coffee chains, lot of them making an entry into the India market. What is it that Tim Hortons globally finds it more exciting about India?
India as a market, 1.4 billion people, so many cities, so many cultures, an exploding middle class. The numbers are going to double in the 25 years we hear. So that gives a lot of new customers coming into the consumer segments. So that is one side of it. The other is obviously it's a very diverse culture. It's a very if you talk about the culinary taste, it's a rich diversity which is there, and there's a very proud Indian food culture which is there. So to explore into that, to tap into that, to bring in the best of the international concepts, and then you adapt it to the local taste. I think that is something which is the very, very exciting part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because such a huge country, and there's so many cities that one can go to and experience them, and kind of give the authentic experience with the local touch.
Yeah.
So innovation will remain a key part of that journey.
Yeah.
And I think that is something globally the brand Tim Hortons is very excited
about.
Like I said, it's not only about the size of the market, it's also the diversity of the market and the nature of the market.
Yes, yes. Also, large population, as you mentioned, young population. Yes. Gen Zs and millennials are driving the so-called coffee culture in the country. If you can share with us, what are they consuming when they come to Tim Hortons? What is the average bill size? And, how are you engaging with this discerning Gen Z consumer?
Good parties, they are well educated, they're well traveled, they're ambitious, they're willing to explore new concepts. And because they know the international concepts, they're wanting to experience them in India now. And so there is a core beverage experience which is very, very typical Tim Hortons experience internationally. And then we've done a lot of, improvisations with the menu. So there's a beverage portfolio, there's a food portfolio, which is, melts and all that, which is a unique taste, and, it's very affordable for them.
Yeah.
What also happens with us typically is that because our menu is so diverse, it renders itself to a lot of consumption occasions. It's not only about if you're working or if you're having a me time, but even if you want to come in a family setup, to bring your parents along. A lot of Gen Z millennials bring their parents along to Tim Hortons to give them the cafe experience, right? So, those the repetitivity of those experiences, the very fact that you can come in for so many occasions, gives you more repeat visits, right?
And still, what is the average check size, bill size? If you
It
get
varies. It varies from market to market.
Yeah.
So if you look at Delhi to Chandigarh to Mumbai, I think it's a function
which
of
city spends most?
that's a that's a tricky one. But I don't think it's a city which spends more. It's a more a function of the location.
Yeah.
It's a more a function of what is the catchment. Because as a concept, we are a very neighborhood concept. We are also a very a very people-centric product where you need to be in places which are very well frequented. So if you look at malls, for example, this is our first location in a Mumbai mall.
Yeah.
Last year, just a couple of months back, we've also gone into airports. We opened our first airport store at Delhi. And there'll be more coming up. Going into highways now. So it's a function of what is the consumption, what is the good size, where you are, and that's not a city specific behavior is what we see.
Yeah. Highways, malls, airports is a strategy similar to what Starbucks is also following in the country. What, according to you, Tarun, if I may ask, gives you an edge over some of your competitors in the market?
So, like I mentioned, in terms of the whole gamut of experiences for which you come to Tim Hortons is very well differentiated from any competitor which is in the similar space, right?
Yeah, when you entered the India market, you set out with a target of 120 stores by the end of 2026. How far are you in that journey, and what is the target for the end of this year? Let's go step by step.
It is more of a geographical growth. Going to a city, we have to develop that city. We have to develop that market. Right? It's about developing the logistics support, developing the team, developing the people who are going to be working in that market. And then when you get into that market, you kind of proliferate that, right? So you get into various channels then. Could be malls, could be high streets, could be airports, could be highways. Tomorrow it could be even huge university campuses. So that's the strategy, and so that 120 stores in 2026 is still the target.
Yeah.
And we'll achieve.
Yeah.
We're on track for that.
And then on personal front, you joined this company just 3 months ago. What is the goal and the target that you have set for yourself? And what has been your immediate mandate?
It's a function of having the right team, having the right training delivered. We have our core values of care, warmth, inclusivity, togetherness. And our team has to deliver that to the customer. So we have to first deliver that to our team. So the teammates, as we call them, they are very, very important because they're integral to that whole experience which Tim Hortons as a brand has to deliver. And then obviously, there's growth, there's real estate development. We also want to be very, very true to the unit economic model, right? The store has to make commercial, financial sense before we get into a certain open it. So we're not chasing growth just for the heck of it. We are going to be very, very mindful, that every store experience has to be adding value to the brand and to the investors. So I think in terms of, and then there is obviously, product. So innovation is a big part of what we do. And as we go into more markets, we go across these 2-3 years that you mentioned, we will get into new markets, right? So innovation on beverage as well as product, reaching out to customers, engaging with them, and kind of, making Tim Hortons the cafe of choice. I think that's a simple mandate.
And finally, before we sign off, since we are standing at the counter, what is your favorite item on the menu, Tarun?
Oh, I love all of this.
All of it.
I mean, French vanilla for sure, and Java ice cap. Those are the universal favorites, and I love them too.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.